I just want to go through uh basically what I'm looking to see happen for the rest of the week, right? So let me just clear all this from today and then I'll redo it, right, with you guys. So looking at the Nasdaq on the daily time frame, we have this order block here, which we traded into on Friday. And if you look at this, we failed to close below consequent encroachment and also trade close below the order block. Even though we traded all the way down here, we still ended up closing above and we respected the upper part of that fair value gap. So same thing with yesterday's candle on Monday. We traded lower and then we closed higher again. So that's the signs that told me that okay, we're probably going to be bullish this whole week. This whole week, I'm gonna be looking for buys, and we're also probably gonna come for these highs here. And we also have this marked out. So we filled this gap, and we're probably also gonna come for these highs here too. And then looking down into the lower time frame, yesterday when market opened, we had this huge movement here to this order block here, and then we pushed higher. Unfortunately, we didn't get any entries here, but looking at what was happening here, I did see that, okay, today I'm probably going to continue with the buys. Yesterday, we didn't have any opportunities to take buys here because price was just moving high. And when I got to the market, it was like somewhere here. So yeah, and we didn't have any pullbacks and price was too expensive. It was too high for me to be able to be buying. So I just sat on my hands today. We traded back into this gap here. We filled this gap up. So once I saw that pullback, I knew, okay, we can then start looking for our buys. I can find any opportunities to buy. And the first one that we could see is obviously we have this 1 hour order block here. We have a 1 hour bullish order block. Now, once we get into that order block, what am I expecting? I'm expecting to see manipulation. I'm expecting to see inverse or fair value gap or change in state of delivery. Those are my three things that I always look for. Now we have sell side here. Now, if you look at some of there's a video that I've made talking about the session highs and lows. We have this session high, the Asia session high, which we swept, and then we had an inverse and we traded all the way lower down into the lows here. And then right after that, we pulled back to the 50% of this gap, right? Which I say most of the time after we swept liquidity and you're expecting a reversal or you wanna see there'll be a continuation, just pull this out and mark out your 0.5 level. Just keep an eye on that. You will see. So now because these lows are still too clean for me to expect a reversal from this. So I expected us to react from that obviously and come and sweep this again. But I was expecting this to happen during New York session. So I missed everything that happened inside here. I couldn't get any entries because I'm sure we could find an inverse here. We'll get into that though. And then if we look at this now, we swept these equal lows here, smooth lows here, and then pushed higher. What do we have here? We have a 15-minute change in state of delivery. One thing that I added into my trading nowadays is the change in state of delivery. You look for your higher time frame order block. There must be a manipulation inside. There must be a turtle soup inside that. If you look at my videos, every time I'm talking about my increase, there's always a fair value gap that has an SMT inside or an order block that has an SMT inside, or a breaker block, every point of interest where I'm expecting a reaction, I'm always looking for a manipulation. Okay, so that's another. And then we also have a SMT right here. So we have the sweep, there's an SMT. We have a 15 minutes changes state of delivery. What are we then targeting? Previous session highs. We have we have this New York session high, which we came from right after that. So now what happens now? So we have our point of interest, our high time frame PDRA. We have our manipulation inside that, which is our SMT, our liquidity sweep. Inside that PDRA, we have a CISD, change in state of delivery. What am I expecting next? Now, obviously, after I get my CISD, I wait for a trade back inside it. As soon as we trade inside the CISD, I'm always looking for an inverse. Now, with this one, we had another manipulation now. We had another manipulation right here. Once we traded inside, yes, we had our inverse here. We had our inverse here. It closed above, right? It closed above and then pulled back in. It's holding, it pushed higher, right? And then right after that happened, we traded to all these highs here. Now, one thing about Nasdaq, go and take out, we'll never go take out external range liquidity before London session, while before London session. Nasdaq will only take out internal range, which is this high here. It will never come for highs like this if it's not London session. So this internal high, we traded all the way up into that beautiful move right here during the New York Open. And then what happened right after that? We had a reversal back into this changing state. We have another manipulation right here. SMT, and then we have the sell side here. What happens after that? I wouldn't use this inverse, but I would use it as confluence. What I would have used is this fair value gap here, because we don't have an inverse here. And this is the 1 minute. This is the lowest I could go. We don't have any inverses here. We just have this 1 minute fair value gap. So then we also have this inverse here, plus this order block here. These two candles here, they form an order block. We came back, we also have that inside this fair value gap. So inside this inverse. So that's giving me every sign that we should be bullish. And then if you also look here, we have another order block that is holding. So once we have this reaction here from this inverse and this order block here, you go break even. And then we obviously come for those New York AM session highs. We come for that New York session highs, and just like that, yes, just like that, you have yourself a 1:4 risk to reward. If you're scaling in here, obviously that would be more. But yeah, that's a beautiful trade right there. And then what happens after we sweep that? Obviously, we trade back into the 50% of this. After we set that, we trade back into the 50%. We have an SMT here. Another manipulation. Right after we traded back, we pulled back. After sweeping that, we pulled back all the way to equilibrium again. We have this low, which we swept. And right after that, what happened? We have an inverse here. We have an inverse here, plus we have this order block here. So that's another trade we could have gotten, targeting these highs here. And right after we took that, we have another inverse here. We have this fair value gap here dropping. So right now, what I'm looking at this 15-minute bullish order block. Ish. So I'm looking to see a trade below here. Take out these lows here, trade into this. So tomorrow, this is the one I'm gonna be looking at. Right now, it's already late, and there's also gonna be FOMC. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it goes with my direction and we push higher. Uh, and then we have those new PM highs. And then we have those overall highs here that I'm looking at. So yeah, all this chop that's happening right now is waiting for the FOMC. So if we trade into this, I'm probably gonna expect us to push high. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. I'll see you guys on another video. That's gonna be it for this video, I think. Looking at, oh wait, we also have S&P here. Looking at this, we have this breaker here. I was actually expecting us to react to this one, but then we just kept pushing higher. And we have this breaker here, which we pulled back into and had an SMT. That's another reason why I was expecting higher prices. It aligns with my bias. And we also have this low resistance here and this inefficiency here. But it looks like we respecting that a little bit. But I'm still gonna expect those buys. Let me down to the 15. So if you look at this, we also have another CISD right here. And we have this order block here. So we'll see if we respect those. So ES already tapped into that. This one hasn't tapped. Nasdaq hasn't tapped. So we'll see what happens. I'm still gonna expect those push higher. I was also looking at USD. They all have similar analysis actually. Because if you look at this, we have this high, this low that we swept previously. And then we also have this 1 hour order block here. We pushed higher, came back into that order block, and we had an SMT here. Let me see. So those swept it. ES swept it, and USDT didn't sweep it. So you would expect you. That's why You would expect US30 to uh displace quicker than this because it failed to sweep the low and the sun sweep. So US30 is stronger in this case, which is why you can see cleaner price action on this. Even though this also displays to the low resistance there, but the cleaner price is here on US30. And then we also have a change in state of delivery. We have this 5-minute inverse here. There's the 15-minute change in state of delivery. We traded lower. It aligns with the fair value gap here, giving you every sign to be bullish. We have this low resistance here, which should be beautifully traded through. So that's how I'm gonna be looking at the market this week. That's exactly how I trade. That's how I'm gonna be looking at the market this week. I'm still expecting higher prices. Hopefully also FOMC does the same thing. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. If hopefully you guys learned something, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, comment what you wanna see on the next video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.